Hey, good evening. Gonna go ahead and adjust my angle here a little bit. I'm gonna break that thing. Hey, it's Drum Boy Reads Slow. I'm back again for a late night musical album review, a full length. Again, my buddy sent me the new Grenadier. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Grenadier. Anyhow, it's a band that has been well received. A lot of people think that they capture the essence of another band pretty well. Um, I didn't listen too closely to their last record, but I felt, well, we'll get to that. But what we have here is a band that tried to build themselves in inspiration of another band, less some controversial ideologies, and they've been well received from what I see by a lot of people. I wasn't initially warm to them. For me, if we're talking comparisons to said controversial band, I'd probably like think of Abominog first. Chaos Unleashed. But anyway, we're gonna be doing Grenadier, and we're gonna be talking about the album Wolves of the Trench. All right, so I'm not dumb. It was Grenadier. Okay, so anyway, what we have here is an act from Canada coming out with their sophomore album. It is right off the bat. You can definitely feel the homage to an homage to the source material, but I want to say that loosely because for me, it there's homage to an assortment of bands I actually heard all blended together, and then it was the pacing of this. It was frenetic. I cannot deny the vocals at when he chose to be was an absolute dead ringer for the other band, but there was a lot of there. One thing is there would be a really cool riff here, or a really cool riff there. They were definitely doing it in their own style. This was a step in their own direction for one thing, so that's a thumbs up on that. But there would be all of a sudden like a sudden like different vocal or like a dueling vocal effect. It Both the pacing of like the drums and the transitions and like how the riffs were kind of set. This combined with the vocals like changing a lot, and getting like kind of more shrieky, and there was actually some singing in this. It kind of killed their momentum, so that kind of took me out of it. There was a lot though going on. This was a work of inspired effort. There is absolutely no denying that. There was definitely some parts where I was like, okay, that was cool, you know. Um, I've been actually on Bambi legs, I barely can stand, but I can play a little guitar. I've been getting into that, and you know you know luck willing, if I'm able to get along in life far enough to get good enough to do something that like I could try and cover some of this Grenadier's record here. I bet you I would learn some really cool stuff, and it's definitely some material I want to revisit in that regard, because I kind of want to pick their brains when someone else picks their brains for me and makes a tab. But there were also issues with more or less retaining, like I said, with the vocals retaining momentum, and the songs themselves just like the transitions, the constant transitions. I think that they were trying to make like very agile songs, which everything was very tight. But for my preference, I kind of like when a riff gets laid into for like, you know, a little bit longer, or is a little bit it just has a little bit more soul in it, and so it like it's there for a little longer. I wanted that because, you know, rather than sounding in tuning or in approach, you know, they sounded you know, melodic death metal, um, but they also sound here like a black metal band. It's kind of reminding me of, you know, guitar tone wise, and also some moods from like Abyssic Hate, and then and that could have been because of the, you know, the drums here. You know, these were much more, you know, complicated drums than what was, you know, on Abyssic Hate records, but like the tempos and the choice of beat, you know. I also kind of got Svolder, like the black metal band Svolder vibes. Um, Maybe I'm not supposed to say their. Or I shouldn't. Maybe I don't know what the rules are. Maybe I shouldn't mention them either. But I got definitely more black metal than death metal from it. And that was like when I say there was frenetic changes, there was going into, you know, the very melodic, intricate type of riffs that where, you know, you're getting kind of uh, shown something you haven't heard before, and then that it would suddenly be in something very, you know, airy guitar, you know, just very fast tremolo picking, and so anyway, I mean, what I can honestly say is it had its redeeming qualities, but it was also kind of like middling for me. I just wanted certain riffs to be more prominent or used further. But yeah, no, I mean, this should speak to so many people. I think this record will speak to a lot of people. I think for me, the vocals, the vocal changes, I think they should just ditch that. I'll shave a point for that. I think that, you know, they got to believe in their riffs a little bit more, because they had some good stuff. And yeah, they were very creative. The song structures really, you know, the album definitely provided a unique take on a lot of things. Honestly, I can't deny that. I was really, you know, like I was into it, out of it, into it, out of it, but I wouldn't give up on it. And I think I'll like I said, I got to come back to it for I want to listen to some of those riffs again. I really liked some of them, but this is more like one I'm kind of thinking. I mean, it kind of reminded me almost. It kind of took me back to when I first heard Black Dahlia Murder, and I was like, "This is interesting," but I think that like they're trying to sell a sound. Like it was like kind of like the beginning of something I didn't like how metal was starting to sound then, but there was something about the record that I found endearing. And it was Unhallowed, I think it was. I want to say that was their first full length. Gosh, that was a long time ago. I never got into anything else they did. I thought everything else was very generic. But yeah, Grenadier is. I wouldn't call them generic by any means. I just would say that maybe they, in their writing process, fell victim of a few of like the modern trends, and, you know, trying to do things like you know, in a structure that everyone was going to recognize, rather than speak a little bit more from their soul. But they're going to learn, because this was definitely a sign of great dedication. So I don't think these guys are going anywhere anytime soon. And I do look forward to the next record. I'd say, you know, on a cynical day, I'm giving this a 6. On a day like today, I'm giving it like a 7, 7.5. I think a lot of people will have it more like in the 8 to 10 range, to be honest. I do find other metal fans to be a little bit easily amused by I just sometimes I'm not sure what everyone else is listening to, but maybe I'm the odd one out. I know what I like though, so I did like this, and I think you will too. So check it out. Grenadier. It is the Wolves in the Trench, or Wolves of the Trench. Why can't I ever get anything right? Yeah, that's a really good video I got.